Good afternoon with you. Now we are going to talk about the Portugal Bike Value COVID reaction, and welcome to our event. With us, we are going to have Pedro Conceição from InCycles and Francisca Ramalhosa in behalf of the Councillor of City Lisbon County Council. Okay. Now let's talk about the COVID challenge, and more of that, the Portugal Bike Value COVID reaction, and of course we had a challenge in 2020. Portugal, as we know, exports about 90% of the bicycles it produces, and we have key markets in Germany, France, and Italy. Portugal, Europe is the Europe's largest manufacturer of bicycles, and of course, with COVID, we had to shut nearly 40 factories, and of course, about 800 people, 800 people of its strong workforce were put on furlough to help the curb of to help to curb the spread of COVID-19, but it's now struggling to keep up the booming global demand of bicycles. So let's take a look at the numbers of the figures. For us, for Portugal, COVID started in March the 11th of 2020. We had the first wave. The first wave was between March and May. We had about 3 months stopped. After that, we had very low numbers, and of course the industries start working again. But in late September, October, we had a new wave, and after that, in January, we have a very strong wave. We didn't stop as it happened on the first wave, but from January to February to late February, the numbers were not the best numbers. In nowadays, we are facing perhaps a new wave with numbers growing from the beginning of June. So in the the second quarter of 2020, we had bad numbers. We can look at these figures, and we can say that Spain had a very strong impact with the COVID-19, and of course Portugal too, and Spain, Croatia, Hungary, Greece, Portugal, France, Italy, Romania, and Belgium. We were we were below the Europe area numbers, and of course the European Union numbers. It was not very good in economical. Under the economical point of view, it was not a good year for us. But however, we were stopped, but we have very good figures. We can look at this next, okay? We can look at this, and we can see how the markets growth, and we can see on blue the numbers of 2019, and on red the numbers on 2020. We can see that in March and April the market was almost stopped. Of course, every industry was stopped, and after that the markets began to accelerate, and so we had good numbers. So let's have a global look. Portugal is Europe's largest manufacturer of bicycles. We had the lockdown that forced the industry to shut. It closed 40 factories and leaving 800 Portuguese workers on furlough. Many feared the worst, but 2020 was a bumper year for bicycles as people look for a healthier and greener way to get around. And of course, as people was looking for a way to move themselves in a safe way, because they didn't have to share their space with other people. And so it's better to go to work or whatever on a bicycle than inside a bus or a train. Even before the pandemic struck, Portugal's production had jumped 42% in 2019 to a record of 2.7 million bicycles. General figures. So now let's hear about the Portugal bike value COVID reaction, and let's hear our first speaker, Pedro Conceição from InCycles. Pedro, it's with you. With you.
Hello. First of all, I would like to send regards to all that are online, and also congratulations to Abimota for this initiative that is very important. Well, about the issue that brings us to this discussion, InCycles. Our case was a little bit, I think, to explain our reaction to COVID, how we step forward after we have the COVID. We have to be a little bit to talk a little bit some months before that. So we were a very small company, and suddenly we get a huge contract with a very big sharing bike company, and 2019 was an amazing year. Our turnover grew 10 times, so it was really a great year. So then we have to decide to invest to grow because our facilities at that time are very small. So we make our bet on the new facilities, on a big investments, and suddenly we got COVID, and from one day to the other, we lose our biggest clients, and it was a panic. It was a complete panic. Everyone is in panic, but this, in fact, was also some we have luck. Why? Because we were prepared to increase a lot the production, and suddenly the market need production. The market was eager to have bicycles, and suddenly our production can be offered to a several number of clients instead of one only. So our problem turns to be an advantage instead of a problem. We have the capacity. So we decide to go into the market and ask and check for new clients and go to a different kind of market. These days, instead of the sharing bikes, we go to the e-bike market, and that's it. We have the capacity. The clients come. We can provide the capacity that the clients need, and it was a bad luck, but in the end, this bad luck turned to be a really nice, big step and a very important step. But what we are not expecting is what is happening now. So we have the capacity, we are producing more and more every day, but the fact is that we can sell much more, but the disruption of the supply chain is very critical and is getting worse and worse, which is, in my opinion, very dangerous. We are growing, but I think we are losing a lot of business due to this disruption of the supply chain. So the reaction to COVID was very good. We also had a little bit luck, and we were prepared to face what we have in front of us. But now I think we have a bigger challenge, and this bigger challenge is precisely we have the capacity. We can produce more. We can produce 1,000 e-bikes a day if we have the parts. So, but we are not close at this point from that objective because for one reason only, it's the parts. And this is the biggest issue that we are facing at the moment. And but I think there's an opportunity here. So people can react to COVID by starting making parts, because there's an opportunity, a big opportunity here, and I think the bike value can be very important in all of this process. So when I talk about our company, yeah, we can react, and I think all of our colleagues in Portugal are reacting very good to the COVID, but we need help to face this situation, the transport, the logistic costs, and the logistic system is completely crazy, and this can be very dangerous. So we are being very careful about this, and wait for see what happens. But yeah, the reactions was afraid first, and then we really have nice view, and the market, fortunately for us, and the other areas of business in our country are not so good, but fortunately the bike, the COVID bring another image to the bicycle. So I think that people are looking to the bicycle, and the institutions are looking to the bicycle on a completely different way. It's not now the poor of the family, but now it's a growing up business, and a very technological one, because the e-bike will evolve to levels that we are way beyond to imagine what will happen on a bicycle in 2 or 3 or 4 years. So yeah, that's what my testimony, and I hope that was interesting. And any questions, please feel free to ask.
Thank you, Pedro Conceição. It was an interesting point of view, but now let's listen to a different point of view, the point of view of City Council, and welcome Francisca Ramalhosa on behalf of the Councillor of Lisbon City Council.
Hello, everyone who's listening to us. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm going to talk about all the work Lisbon has been doing about mobility, especially about cycling in Lisbon. I'm not going to talk specifically about COVID. Everyone is set up of COVID, but I would like to point out that COVID was an interesting challenge to mobility in the city, because it changed completely the normal mobility we were used to, and I think it gives us an opportunity to think about it in a different way, and it's a challenge and an opportunity to bicycles. I'm going to share a small presentation with you. Just a minute, please. Okay. So I'm going to show you what Lisbon has been doing. I hope everyone is watching. Okay. So this is a quick view about the city of Lisbon, population, and how many tourists we receive per year. Just to give you, I'm not sure about where are you from, the people who are listening to us, so I just want to give you a quick view. And here I would like to point out that most of the people that come to Lisbon every single day, they are not from Lisbon, they are from the metropolitan area of Lisbon. So 82% live in the metropolitan area. So that's a big challenge to Lisbon, because Lisbon has most of the services and is the city and the center, so everyone comes to Lisbon every single day, which makes us to have more or less 370,000 vehicles per day in Lisbon. This, of course, was before COVID, but we work with these numbers still. And this is the model split in the metropolitan area and in Lisbon. Just want to point out that more or less 50% is private vehicle. And this is what we want to change. And we are working on it. So last year, we published the Strategic Vision for Mobility 2030, MOV Lisboa, and I will leave you here the link for the English version about it. And we have some goals for 2030. We want to reduce the use of private vehicles, and we want to increase the cycling. And of course, we want to improve the security in streets. So we have been working a lot on cycling in Lisbon. The past few years, we have made several big steps. And we were able to construct a cycling infrastructure, mainly the network. This is our network, and we are working for a cycling network where everyone can ride a bicycle, kids and grown-ups. So we have to have a secure and safe network, and also an attractive one and comfortable and connected. So right now we are almost with 100 kilometers, and we are working for the 200 kilometers. I mean, this is a huge step, because some years ago we didn't have any network and people would not ride a bicycle in Lisbon. So this is a huge step up. We are also investing a lot in short-term parking. You can see here in the graphic that we are increasing the number of bike parking. And there in the map you can see all the little points. Those are short-term parking for bicycles. And also we are investing in long-term parking. This parking is where you can leave your bicycle during the night in a more safe place. And right now, EML, the mobility parking company, municipal company, invested, and they did parking in their car parking. So in each municipal car parking, we have 2 or 3 car places where you can put your bicycle during the night or during the day. It's for a long-term period. This is how we monitor our cycling infrastructure. Normally we do it once a year, and you can see that the numbers are increasing, so we have more cycling in Lisbon, and that's because we have a much spread network, and also because we invested a lot in the bike sharing scheme. And these are the famous Gira, the municipal bike sharing scheme. Right now we have 90 stations and more or less 900 bikes per day riding around the city. We are investing in more bicycles and more stations, but this year we had a very difficult time because, as our first speech, we were able to see that it's not easy to buy bicycles right now. It's not the perfect year to buy bicycles or to buy stations. So right now we are not with the numbers we would like to, but we are working on it. Okay, so we have been investing in infrastructure, but we are also investing in promoting cycling. So we have several programs in school or for adults to promote the use of a bike. And the most famous are the programs in schools. We have been able to promote this one is the Lisbon without established. This is a weird name in English. It's Lisbon without established wheels. So is where we teach kids how to ride a bicycle, but the lessons are, and this is very interesting because it was a huge step. The lessons are integrated into the existing physical education curriculum. So they are not lessons outside the school, they are inside the school, inside the timetable school. And right now we are already in 55 schools. These are primary schools. We are also doing the famous Lisbon bicycle train, where we promote and organize trains of bicycles where the kids can go to school by bicycle in a safe mode with some people, adult people helping. And we are already in 11 schools. We have 18 different lines, and it was very successful because this year during COVID, when schools opened, we had several schools calling us to open a bicycle train. So we thought that we were not going to do it this year, but it was completely the opposite because bicycle is a very safe mode in terms of COVID because you are in your own vehicle, your own bicycle, but you are getting air fresh. So it was very successful. And this is a survey, an annual survey we do, which is Ends Up Lisbon, where we can get the model representation of the city each year. And just for you, we do it in schools, so the kids answer how do they go to school. And just for you to know, the last year the cycling had an increase of 50%. Of course, the car is still the major mobility way, but cycling is getting there. Is doing a very good job. We are getting very good results. So during 2020 and 2021, and it's still on, the city of Lisbon opened a very successful program to help people buying a bicycle. So we had 1.5 million euros to subsidize the acquisition of bicycles. Every citizen, worker, or student can apply for this. So you buy a bicycle and then you ask for help, the refund from the city. We have almost 700 applications, which is, 7,000 applications, which is huge. It's a very successful program, and we are giving money to buy electric, cargo bikes, non-electric, every kind of bicycles for kids, everything. You just have to be a resident or to work or to be a student in Lisbon. And you can get help to buy bicycles. And this during COVID was a major success, although people would write to us saying that they were not able to buy bicycles because the stores didn't have bicycles enough. I forgot to tell you that in this program, you have to buy a bicycle in a Lisbon store. So we are helping also the commerce in Lisbon. So you cannot buy it online, you have to buy it in Lisbon, in a Lisbon-based store. We have other programs. This is an European program. It's a city charger cargo bike, which is a program where we promote the cargo bikes. We lend cargo bikes to people, to families, or to companies, or even to public entities. And it's a major success because families can test a cargo bike, and then if they like, they will buy it or not. But you can offer that experience to many families. And then we have another project which started as a very, very small project, and it's now it's getting bigger. It's a system to loan bicycles. So if you want just to, you cannot buy a bicycle, so you go there and you ask for a bicycle to someone to loan you a bicycle. These are some of the programs that we are investing in. And of course, this year, as you may know, we will host the big Velocity during September. And we hope to, we have a lot of applications right now, so we hope it will be a very big event, and even with COVID. And we are going to see several bikes around Lisbon during September. So this is it. This is the vision for Lisbon. I'm here if you have some questions. Hope you have liked it.
Thank you, Francisca Ramalhosa. Now I tell you, you are very welcome to put your questions. Please let us know if you have any questions to anyone of the speakers, today's speakers. And I'll start with a question to Pedro. A few moments ago, I could understand that you were looking to the glass in half full. It's okay. We could grow, but we have a problem with the supply chain. 2020 was a strange year. We have COVID, and after that we have one moment which was a remarkable moment for the market, for the global market, was that incident with the cargo ship that stopped the Suez Channel. At this moment, I think that every industry and every mobility industry has a problem with some parts, isn't it?
Yes, sure. The incident with the Evergreen, I think, the ship
Yes.
on Suez Canal. I don't think that this is one more thing to add on the problems that already exist. I think the problem is beyond the production capacity, because I think we have here several issues. We have China closed for 3 or 4 months. The industry just not produce, and as you know, at this point, we are very dependent on the Asian products to build a bicycle. Maybe 89% of the products coming from Asia. I think that will change, fortunately, in the next years. But it was not only that. When the COVID strike, China was the first one to stop. Then I think there is a perfect storm. I think not only COVID, but also the protection measures that the EU impose over the e-bikes also bring more production to Europe. So if we get these all together, it's the perfect storm. So a huge demand due to COVID, because people want distance, want to be alone, as Francisco already referred, Lisbon. This is all over the world. People don't have the gymnasiums open, so people want to make some exercise and get some fresh air. The bicycle is a very convenient method. Then we have the imposing of anti-dumping measures over the bicycles, which bring a big part of the production of e-bikes to Europe, and then the COVID, which disrupt all the supply chain. But at this point, I know that is not only our business. Mainly the business who have electronics involved, and the e-bike have electronics involved, batteries, and this kind of stuff, is a huge problem, and as I said before, very dangerous, because the cash flow needed to support a company under these conditions is very high. It's very, very, very difficult. I hope I answer your question.
So we need to reindustrialize Europe.
I completely agree with you. I think not only on bicycle, but on. Listen, we with COVID, we understand that in Europe there's no production of a simple thing as a mask, surgical mask. So we are completely dependent on China on this, on the Asia on this, and I think it will happen for sure. The production for parts will come to Europe. It is happening now. I think motors, I think batteries. We have some examples now already running. Some projects that are coming. One of them we are involved, and I think that is the way. Is bringing to Europe what we the products that have an added value, because in fact it's not logic to bring to Europe some small parts that the impact on the final product is very low or insignificant, and in fact doesn't miss on the supply chain. I think we must go to higher product values, and I think what Portuguese industry learned with the past is that we don't want to make cheap low end bicycles. We want to follow the added value products, and I think that's the only way to work. Is go to the added value products on parts and on bicycles.
Thank you very much. Now let's hear a different point of view. And Francisca, Lisbon, I think it's an old town with a long history. Some parts of Lisbon with very narrow streets, and there's 7 hills in Lisbon. And of course, you have the new avenues, bigger than the other streets. You have a very different kind of urban tissues inside the same town. How can you put together the bicycles and the cars and other kinds of soft mobility?
Yeah, that's a big challenge for all of us. For us who plan the city, and we have to design the city, and also for the ones that are using the streets every single day, the roads, who live in the city center and are not used to bicycles or to other kind of mobility instruments. So we are trying to. I think this is also a cultural thing. I mean, in 10 years, everyone will be much more used to this convivence. I mean, our kids are much more used to bicycles and to rollers, to skates, everything, than our generation. So we have to take time. We have to have patience, but also, of course, design. City design as a big important and as a big challenge. Of course, in the older parts of the city, we cannot go there and change the roads, but we can do some small adjustments, kind of like the velocity speed limit, so everyone can ride in the same road with confidence and with security. I mean, we have the pedestrians, we have the bicycles, we have the cars, we have the motos. So everyone have to be confident. So we have to reduce. It's very important to reduce the speed limit, but also we have to have comfortable bicycles, so they can ride in the city center areas where the pavement is not so comfortable. So everyone have to adapt and have to be conscious that the car is not the only way, it's not the only mode of transportation, and pedestrians also have to be alert to new ways. So when I look to the street to check if I can go to the other way, I have to realize that the car is not the only one that I can get a bicycle in front of me also. So it's a process And that's why we like to invest so much in education. We have to invest a lot in our future, the people from the future, for the future.
For sure. But now there's a question. Are you going to convert streets exclusively for soft mobility?
Well, as I told you before, I think the way is to get the conditions so everyone can be safe and comfortable in a street, because I can choose if I want to walk, if I want to ride a bicycle, if I want to go by car, or if I want to go by bus. So it's a choice, and it's my choice. And the role of the city is to give people all these choice, but good choices and safe choices. So I don't like to say this road is just for soft modes or this road is just for cars. I mean, we have to get a balance, of course. So I don't think that's the way to go.
Thank you very much, Pedro. There's another question. How does InCycle want to pick up the help that COVID gave?
Sorry, I was in mute. I think in cycles have to try to develop because we are basically, or most part of our work is an OEM supplier. So what the InCycles are trying to go, or the path that we are trying to follow is giving our own brand space in the market. So trying to make a stable road on this market using these availability of the consumer for the bicycles, and mainly the bikes. I listened to Francisca before, and I think in Lisbon, for instance, we cannot expect that too much people will climb the hills of Lisbon on a regular bicycle, because the normal user don't have the capacity or the physical capacity to climb those hills. But with the e-bike, this changed completely. This changed the mentality completely, and I think we in cycles will try to take advantage for this mentality change, because we are not a Northern European country that they are completely used to the roads, to be a bicycle and a car in the road. Here in Portugal or Spain or even France, that is not very normal. So I think e-bike changed all of this idea completely, because now it's convenient. It's a little bit easy to drive a bicycle, to ride a bicycle with not a big effort. So in cycles we'll try to use this will of the client to go into to use more and more the bicycles, to create no, because the brand is already established, 11, but to create a new image, a new strength in the market, and go aboard, go to the European countries and get more and more bicycles. But this road will be must be very careful, and we are not on the market that have the possibility to invest on marketing as we need to put a brand in the market. So we will do it, but without hurries, and stable, on a stable way, without not committing too much risks, because otherwise we can ruin everything. So that's our idea.
Thank you very much, Pedro. And now, Francisca, the road and a town is a kind of ecosystem where there's cars, there's trucks, there's skaters, there's walkers. Um, Everybody has to, how can I say, to share a part of the road. And I ask you this because I know that Lisbon is making a good job on that. Is formation the way to get to a safer future?
Yes, as I told in my presentation, one of our goal is to have safe streets. We have the zero vision. So for that, but at the same time, we are increasing the danger because we are putting more different type of transportation. We have the bus, we have the cars, we have the trucks, not many trucks. We have the bicycles, we have the skaters, we have the pedestrians, all of these in the same place at the same time, in a very narrow space, always narrow. It's never enough. So, and we want this. We want this ecosystem. A very good word for this, but in a safe way, in an ecosystem way. So this is the way to go. Of course, no doubt about it. It's very difficult, and we have to design very well. We have to educate very well all the actors of the ecosystem, and also we have a lot of technology around us right now. We have the new traffic lights. Lisbon have been changing all the traffic lights, so now we have a very much more modern network of traffic lights, and with those we can work much better. We can improve the way we regulate traffic, and so we have to work all these different types of tools, like technology, education, design, city. But I really believe in education. I think it's the way to go. It's to educate kids, and the kids will pass to their parents, and because normally kids learn much better than adults. So I think it's a good way to go.
Let's teach the kids and get safer adults, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the way.
Okay, I think we don't have any
It
more
happened with the recycling. Sorry about it.
Mhm.
It happened with the recycling. The kids teach their parents how to recycle. So I think it's a very good example to go.
Great. So we don't have questions from our viewers, so we're about to end for today. And let's meet all in next September in Velocity in Lisbon. So to you, tomorrow we are going to be back. We'll be back at 10 o'clock. And tomorrow's themes are going to be, let me check my schedule to not to say anything which is not correct. So tomorrow we are going to start at 10 o'clock local time. I remind that in Europe it's 1 hour more, and we'll have the theme is going to be Abimota's lab support. So see you tomorrow at 10 Portuguese time, 1 hour plus in the rest of Europe. Thank you. See you tomorrow.